My name is Robbie and I have been installing windows for 13 years. So first thing we do is unload the trailer, and then we double check the measurements. We never want to pull out a window that we cannot replace, so it's always great to double check. After that, we'll put down drop cloths everywhere and get prepped. The windows will be delivered, and then we'll actually start the process. So it depends on what type of window we're taking out, but we would typically be on the outside for the removal, and one person would be on the inside. That person is responsible for screwing off the windows and finishing out the interior. On the outside, we would wrap the window with foam insulation, and then we'll actually bend metal custom to each opening. And then put the metal onto the house. Caulk it to the window and to the house all the way around. That's easy. You don't have to do any of the work, right? So when you have a certified installer, you have someone with knowledge. I literally went to school for this. So I have multiple certifications. I am OSHA 10 certified, I'm lead certified, I'm ALMA certified. And these certifications have to get renewed every so often. It depends on what certification it is, right? But with that comes a streamlined process, right? So on our team in particular, it runs more like an assembly line. I do something, I leave, the person behind me comes and does their part, and so on and so forth, right? So there's always somebody doing something to each opening. So you get a much thorough cleanup because everybody is always double checking everybody else. First thing I would say is a lot of homeowners don't have all of the proper tools that you really need to give you a waterproofed product, right? Somebody can buy foam insulation, but is it the right kind? Do they have a brake that actually bends metal to cover up your wood from the outside? So now you don't have to worry about rotted wood. We had a piece today, it wasn't connected properly. So if I didn't have the knowledge that I would have had, I wouldn't have known what the piece was, or when I did find the piece, how to actually put it back on so now the window functions properly. A lot of people don't understand plumb, level, and square, which are things that we have to check for each window as well. So the very first thing is cleanliness, right? It doesn't matter how good of a job we do if the whole job is dirty. That's the first thing the customer looks at, specifically on the interior of the home. That's where the customer is going to be, right? No one's on the outside 90% of the time that they're in their home. So cleanliness is probably the most important. Secondly, I would say clean caulk lines make a big difference. I can do everything right. I can put the window in correctly. The trim can go on beautifully. But if I give you a poor looking caulk line, it makes the rest of the window look terrible. So those two things are probably the most important. The positive feedback that we get is typically about cleanliness and speed. A lot of people are surprised at how quickly we can make this happen. It's very dependent on what type of window we are removing. A wood window that we are removing is much quicker than a vinyl window or a metal window. Vinyl windows are literally sawed out of the house. So that process is a lot more invasive, takes a lot more time. In the proper conditions, I would say vinyl windows are probably 45 minutes to an hour, again, depending on how they come out. Specifically how the glass comes out. If the glass comes out easy, then it's a good day for everybody. It makes it better for the homeowners, right? They don't have to worry about taking off all day from work, or if they're gonna have to hire somebody to come clean up after us. We take pride in those two things, the most importantly, and the thing that we get the most positive feedback about.